everybody. Alrighty, so today I have a question. A person wrote in, they were scapegoated, and that they've been trying to make all these improvements, trying to change in all these ways, and it doesn't seem to be working. They don't seem to be able to win their family over, and no matter what they do, they seem to always be still in the wrong. And wondering, what could be done about that. And sadly, my answer is the reason it's not working is because they already have a defined role for you. Your role is the scapegoat. Your role is to be the problem in the family. Actually, I tell a story in one of my videos about when my lawyer asked me, why does your family hate you so much? He asked me, your family hates you to the degree that they need you. They need to be able to hate you. They need to be able to, and hate may be too strong of a word. I don't know. Sometimes it doesn't seem like a strong enough word when I see some of the things that people will do to their own family members. And it's really painful. I understand it's really, really painful because, we don't want, there's no answer to that question that's going to feel right. What we're inclined to do is just keep trying. We don't want to think there's nothing that we can do, but it's never going to work. It's never going to work because they shouldn't be doing it anyway. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you in the first place. Parents love their children, and families want what's best for their kids. But we're not in an ideal world. And it's very, very common. A lot of families are really, really sick. It's just the facts. A lot of families are really, really sick. And it seems like more and more they're sick in this particular way. They're sick where there is narcissism going on, where people, they can't look at themselves and their own flaws. They have an inability to take responsibility for what's wrong with themselves. And so they have to project onto other people, namely their children. Your family's sick. We've established that your family's sick. If if this is a question you're asking yourself or someone else is asking you, then you're in a sick family, and that's okay because it's very, very common. Most families are sick in some way. Your family is sick in this way, and so they don't want what's best for you. They want what's best for them. Sometimes it might work out to where it's something is in your benefit too, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. And usually, what's best for them is for you to. That doesn't trigger any of their fears, control over you. They want to have certainty over things, and you doing things that makes them feel out of control, certainly makes them fear any kind of exposure. They have this very exaggerated sense of importance that people really care about what they think and do and say, and they care about their private life, and they really grasp because we're social creatures. We don't want to see when a situation with our own families hopeless. But until we move on, we really are held back in our healing. That's what that's what all research is finding. That's what I find in my practice. They're really, really held back until the day comes when they just say no more. And I do talk about workable situations with narcissists and healthy narcissism. Really, it's only in the mildest of cases that there's any way to where it weighs out to make any kind of sense to try and continue these relationships, because the downside is so big. I mean, the more disordered they are, and the longer that this behavior is continued, and the more it's escalated its way up, ratchets up. The longer that's gone on, the less likely it is that you're ever going to be able to help them, help improve them, help them lessen their narcissism and become more sociable and have it to be more of a mutually gratifying, mutually beneficial relationship. And the greater the chances are that they're really going to harm you. And so if the goal here is to heal ourselves, which it is, that is the goal of all of it. And if you can look at it that way, if you can go, okay, my purpose here is not to continue in this abuse. My purpose here, and the reason for all this, it doesn't have to be meaningless, but the purpose of it is so you can see yourself and you can change yourself and you can heal yourself. then it has meaning. Life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. You're not going to win your family over with good deeds, because they're going to be able to turn anything into a bad thing. Do they hate me? Do they hate you? We can say this much. We can say they don't love you. This isn't love. There's no sign of anything that would constitute love here. Doesn't exist. They're afraid of you. And if they don't hate you, they hate that they don't hate you. They want to hate you. They want to hate you. They want to have there be plenty of reasons for them to be doing what they're doing, for them to have done what they have done. They want to be justified in that. They want to be right in that. See, the worst thing for them is to be wrong.
Awakening Hearts.